Hey guys, Sandy McDougall here. Here's a little ditty off the YouTube. This guy does a lot of explanations, and he's talking about the U.S. military and the war in Ukraine and how the numbers work with the money that Donald Trump says, it's $300 billion and it's this much and that much. But I've always said that all America's doing is sending the old weapons and replacing them with new weapons, which is what the military really loves. Anyway, here's just a little bit on that, and maybe it'll help you understand what's really going on.
The war in Ukraine and the sum in total of U.S. military aid to Ukraine, that is only around 110 billion U.S. dollars.
Even though they've said it's 300
of 3 years. And it's not even that much, because the way that aid works is that the U.S. sends Ukraine the old versions of units that they were already going to pay to replace, and they just replace the unit and send Ukraine the old one. So the $110 billion that we've sent is just the dollar value of the new units, and not actually the dollar value of what we actually sent to Ukraine. Now, part of the reason that the U.S. is losing its influence is because it was so impatient that it was sending so much money to Ukraine over the course of 3 years, $110 billion, that they have now sacrificed annual revenues 2.5 times larger than the total of what they have sent to Ukraine. This is stepping over dollars to pick up pennies, and it actually gets a little bit worse. When you look at the total U.S. military budget, again, currently annually around 850 billion U.S. dollars per year, that is a massive amount of money. And why does that military budget exist? Well, it is largely to counter two main geopolitical opponents, one being Russia and one being China. In Ukraine, the Ukrainian military has held the Russian military at bay for a cost to the United States that has been around 1/8 of their annual military budget, and that has been over the course of over
3 years.
So if the United States wants to truly save money on military expenditures, the best way to do that is actually to support Ukraine, continue to defeat the Russian military at a price that costs them pennies on the dollar, and also at the same time continue to support, and in that case actually expand, the arms trade that made people so willing to be in their sphere of the world in the first place.
There you
What
go.
I always find super ironic about